Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 2822 Sports Night. I'm your executive producer, Ricky Turner. Joining me is Zach Grady. As you can see, I have two different shirts on.
You wanted to bring it up. You're gonna just get right into it.
I think it's fair. I think it was fairly obvious.
I was just gonna let it just be, quietness in the room. I wasn't gonna say anything. I mean, you do look good in green, though.
I could feel the despair that you've gone through.
Oh yeah. Do you feel the pain just suddenly? People can't see what it says though. Just stand up for a second, Ricky.
Yes, right here. It's got the New York Jets.
The JETS. Can I get a JETS?
Oh, yes.
No. That wasn't part of the bet. I won't make you do that. I won't make you do that. Yeah, so if people don't know, good evening and welcome in. And thank you, Ricky, for getting us going as we had some lighting and background. I got you.
No, we're good.
Make sure. Although, you know what? Whatever was behind you would have been a good show for someone to watch here on the 2822 Now app that they've downloaded in Amazon, Apple, or Roku.
That show's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good call. We're not going to talk about that show.
Exactly.
We're not going to mention that show.
So they don't even know what we're talking
we
about.
can't talk about that show. We're not Tom Holland. We're not going to go Spider-Man on the folks. But as you can see, yes, Ricky donning the green and black and despair that is being a Jets fan for the evening as the Jets picked up the 17-0 win on Friday night over the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 2 of the NFL preseason. Ricky and I having a little wager over that head-to-head matchup. We'll have another wager as well over who does probably better at the end of the season between the Jets and the Steelers, one that I will lose, and Ricky should feel pretty confident about that. Although, okay, Ricky, hold on, I got a question for you. You tell me how you feel about this, because I was listening to some pundits, I was listening to some folks talking the other day, actually talking, I think, either this morning or yesterday morning, I can't remember. It all's blending into one another with these last 2 weeks of the Little League World Series and as well the high school football starting up on Friday, Ricky. High school football starting on Friday, Ricky.
That's right. That is right. You have high school football coming up on Friday. That's going to be crazy in itself. We have another preseason playbook here that I think Connor aired over the weekend on Shamokin.
Shamokin. And he did some Montoursville on Sunday as well, so make sure you check in. Look at that, the first interception for the Jets in over 365 days.
Yes, I think that was Andre Sisco getting that interception. This is probably another one here. Yes, it is.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk to you about. And it's good that you got the Jets and the Steelers up here because both of these teams listed in this question. Like I said, I was listening and they were discussing, and it was the list of top 5 worst quarterback situations in the NFL. Were you in the car listening? Were we together to this
one?
No, okay.
I don't think we were.
Okay, but this is the top 5 worst quarterback situations in the NFL. Jets were by higher you mean worse or better?
Worse.
The Jets were worse.
Okay.
The Jets were worse. It was but only by 1.
Okay.
Number 5. Hold on, I got to think about what this is again. I can't remember the exact order. However, I do know the Cardinals were in it.
Yep. Checks out.
The Jets were in it. The Steelers were in it. And why don't you fill some
Miami?
time? No, Miami actually wasn't in it. And I understand why. Because Malik Willis does have upside. The rest of that quarterback room with Quinn Ewers, certainly not. But they do have some upside, at least with Malik Willis compared to Geno Smith. And I mean, listen, I know this is Aaron Rodgers going away tour, but it's likely Geno Smith's as well. Yes, Atlanta was number 1. Okay, sorry. Atlanta was number 1, yes, with Brady Cook. Or no, sorry, not Brady Cook. But Tua, Penix, and their other is Cook, but it's not Brady Cook. It's a different Cook. Is their third guy. Yes, Atlanta was 1.
Cleveland?
Yes, there you go.
Cleveland, the Jets, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, and Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona was 5, Pittsburgh 4, Jets 3, Cleveland 2, and Atlanta was the worst quarterback situation in the NFL. First of all, do you agree with that Atlanta is the worst quarterback situation in the NFL? Because I do at this point, and that's a shame because there's a lot of guys with talent on that team who are going to be wasted this year.
I actually don't. I still think Cleveland is the worst. I still think you look at it. I get it. You're still banking on Deshaun Watson.
Combination of the lack of talent and the how much money it costs for that lack of talent.
Yes, and it was recently announced, obviously, that Deshaun Watson will be the team's starting QB on week 1, and I think that's in part due to how much they're paying him. I think hopefully they're throwing stuff at a wall, and they're like, you know what, it was Kevin Stefanski's fault. Maybe that's why Deshaun Watson.
But it's funny that Stefanski didn't want Shedeur Sanders at all. So it wasn't his fault that they drafted him.
Yes, there's also that side of the coin. But yes, Shedeur Sanders is the team's backup right now. And I still personally think Cleveland's the worst. I can see why people think Atlanta's the worst because, again, you have two really middle of the road.
Not even middle of the road. Tua is not middle of the road anymore. Tua is a terrible quarterback.
Well, I'm saying that because majority of his play will come indoors this year.
That doesn't matter. He has looked awful. He couldn't even handle the snap in the first week. And then, I mean, have you seen some of the things like that have come out of the group practice or the joint practice?
Yeah, no, he hasn't looked.
He has looked awful.
So again, that's something. Yeah, I mean, Atlanta certainly. Again, those teams, I think we could all agree, are to be up there.
Yeah, agreed. Tua, this is how bad he is. Tua is a 7th-year pro in the NFL who has signed multiple contracts, who lost out on the starting job to a 2nd-year guy or a 3rd-year guy who didn't even take a snap in the preseason. That's how badly he played.
Well. That's luckily
that got you caught up there, huh?
Yeah, it did. Luckily, that's not my situation. My situation's, I guess, a little bit different.
Yeah, your situation's number 4.
Yeah, and again, I could see why. You have one year of Aaron Rodgers, and your next guy probably isn't even on the roster based off of the play in this past preseason game. But yeah, I could certainly see why Pittsburgh is at 4. But I personally think that Cleveland is worse just due to the fact that they're still paying Deshaun Watson big money off of a 5-year, $230 million deal, and a guy who also tore his Achilles in 2023 and once more in his rehab process in 2024 and has not looked that good either in training camp and preseason games here in 2026 either.
See, the only reason why I'll disagree with you on that, and the reason why I say the situation is worse for the Falcons is because there's actual hope and expectations for the Falcons. There's no hope. There's no expectations for the Browns. I mean, you look at the division, you look at some of the teams that have to play, you look at the way the roster is built and the fact that new coach and who's your wide receiver? Who's their running back? There's not a lot of stars on that team. Njoku's gone. He left to go to the Chargers. So Myles Garrett is gone. He left to go to the Rams. So, I mean, other than Denzel Ward on the defensive end, they have good corners. They have a good secondary for sure. But that offense is going to be really, really bad this year. Where you look at Atlanta's in a winnable division. Atlanta's in a situation where they have spent multiple first-round picks on the offense, on the skill, on the outside of the offense, whether it be Kyle Pitts or Drake London or Bijan Robinson, who they just re-upped. But they also spent a first-round pick on Michael Penix Jr., a top 10 first-round pick. So if Michael Penix Jr. isn't the guy, that is an absolute waste of that pick. And if he's not the guy this year, and Tua's not the guy this year, that's a waste of another year of London and Pitts and Bijan. And I know they got Pitts locked up, and I know they got Bijan locked up, but, I mean, are you going to be able to then have money to lock up London and then go find the quarterback?
I think... Again, I personally think you're actually able to do that easier because typically teams that, don't have a 35 plus $1 million cap hit on their QB are able to lock up their players more easily. I think the fair question would be, does Drake London want to be there given the QB play that he has had to go through and has still put up pretty respectable numbers? I think that's probably the bigger question there. But yeah,
because he's going to get money. He's going to get money.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's going to get money. He's quickly established himself as one of the NFL's premier wide receivers. But again, the issue has been, number one, who's the guy across from him? And number two, who is the guy that's going to throw him the football over the past couple of years? That has been a big mistake. They've tried it out with Kirk Cousins. They tried it out with Michael Penix, who ended up getting hurt. They've tried it out now with Tua, and it just seems to be a revolving door there in Atlanta at the quarterback position. But again, I do see your point there. Cleveland, the expectations aren't there, but they do have recently invested a lot of draft capital into the offensive side of the football. Quinshon Judkins is coming back from I think a season-ending injury, but he looked really good in the play time he had last year.
He did, and he put up some numbers when it comes to fantasy. I do know that. Yes,
he did that. They have Harold Fannin at the tight end, who really emerged there. The Mac product out of I forget where he came out of. Bowling Green, the tight end position. And then they drafted 2 wide receivers, KC Concepcion, Denzel Boston.
I do love KC Concepcion.
That was
that's a great pick.
That was one of my favorite. That was arguably outside of that top 3 with Jordan Tyson. Who else did they have there? Carnell Tate and
I think Concepcion will have a better season or a career than those other 3. So, but hey, we're at 8:13 and we still haven't talked about the 2 teams we were actually supposed to talk about when I brought up the top 5 here. So We're going to take a little break. And when we come back, let's actually talk about the Steelers and the Jets and their quarterback situation and week 2 of their preseason game. Is Riley checking in?
They do have a package on the 2 QBs that played.
All right, and we'll check in with our black and gold correspondent, Riley Holsinger, as well. So don't go anywhere. 28-22 Sports Night coming back in just a few moments. Hey, thanks for joining us, and welcome back this evening as we are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and of course, as always, the 2822 Now app, which you, if you're watching us, have already downloaded on Amazon, Apple, or Roku. And I keep saying Amazon, Apple, or Roku because you got to go out and tell 3 friends. That's how it works. You tell 3 friends, and then they tell 3 friends, and wow, I can't even say 3. It's been a long week, man.
It has been a long week. I mean, you spent the weekend, obviously, at the Little League World Series.
Hey, you were there with us on Friday night. It was beautiful. How awesome was that sunset at Lamity?
Really, really.
All right,
nice.
Lamity or Lamity? Because I've had people both. Okay, here's the thing, folks. When you email me and you send in that I don't know what I'm talking about, if 6 of you are telling me it's Lamity and 6 of you are telling me it's Lamity, I don't know which 6 to believe, okay? So I'm going with the way Carl Ravitch says it, okay?
That's always a good source.
Yes.
And that was his. You were there. You were in attendance for his final call on ESPN with the Braves and Brewers.
Was that his final MLB call?
Because
he's still doing the Little League World Series. But is that his final MLB call?
That.
Okay.
Yeah, he thanked his producers, the people he's worked with, and I think the Braves ended up getting a win 4-2.
4-2. Michael Harris Jr. with a home run in the 9th inning. Yeah, it was a great game. It's a amazing experience. And actually, just for the record, and fun tidbit here, fun fact for no one but myself. Carl Ravitch and myself actually both sat in the same chair, as Carl Ravitch one time was the sports director at WBNG in Binghamton, New York, where I just came from. And you know what's actually really cool is that Ravi, when he was doing that, and he was in Binghamton, his other guy, his number 2, Bill Pito, who is a former SportsCenter anchor as well, and is now the voice and the host of New York Rangers pre and post game. And my apologies, and I know she's not going to hear this. I wish that she would. I would hope that Jessica Mendoza is a listener. And we need to cut this and put this up on our Instagram. I actually have gotten a chance now to run into Jessica Mendoza on 2 back-to-back days. And she is amazing, awesome person. I'm a Mets fan, and she is at one point part of the organization. I was always proud to have her as part of the organization. She was amazing on Sunday Night Baseball as well. She's her voice. She's part of the show, MLB 2026, the show broadcast. She is awesome. I am so humbled to have been able to meet her, and my dumbness goes, oh, I really wish I could meet Carl Ravitch too. Who cares about him? Talk about the person you're meeting. And Jessica, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And if I see you tomorrow, I'm going to apologize again, because I should just be happy and humbled and honored that I met you. And my dumbness is like, oh, yeah, can you hook me up and bring me up to the group? Let me meet Carl Ravitch. I am such a dumbass. Can we say that? Can we say? But let's not.
I think we can just be occasional. I think I'm supposed to not turn it into,
An everyday thing.
Yeah, 2022 sports covered.
Hey, they want us in prime time. They want us in this window.
Right? They did, but I think they're made it like the 11 o'clock, like the Adult Swim, when the Cartoon Network turns into Adult Swim.
Okay, well, Ricky, I'm just going to let you know this now, and you better be ready for it. We're going to get back into the Little League. We're going to get back into Steelers and Jets here in just a second. But here at 2822, WBRE, WYOU, and at Nexstar as well, which is our parent company, we do not show sports. We talk about sports. And I 100% agree with that. I have a whiteboard in my office that says we don't just show highlights, we tell stories. Because I agree with that. I'm 100% on that sentiment. I think that is an excellent, excellent mantra to have for a company to value sports, especially at the local level where you see it going by the wayside. That we don't. And we have had some amazing opportunities. We've had 3-hour-long shows from Pocono.
Yes,
We had a half-hour high school football show.
That will be up eventually.
No, it's already up.
Oh,
it's on. Yeah, it's up.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's up on
absolutely.
YouTube?
We had, it's processing, but it's up. Yeah, it should be up. We had a half-hour special from Little League on Friday night. We've had some, and we got what? Our Friday night show starting this week after high school football at 11 o'clock. We got our college football postgame show starting next week on Saturdays. Like, we've had some amazing, amazing experiences. So, like, I agree. Hey, we don't show sports. We talk about sports. Before the end of this show, we're going to talk. I'm going to do some real talking about this is going to be the one, about the jackass who got himself kicked out of the Chicago game against Indiana. Because, it's just like, you know what? I can admit, and I can agree that league shoots themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Hand over fist. Like, they are going out of their way to adhere bad press left and right when they shouldn't be. But they don't need that. And for someone who used to play for the Knicks, and for someone who is a former WWE 24/7 champion as well, Enes Kanter Freedom, like, yo, that's not what the freedom is for. That's not what the freedom is about. The freedom that you're talking about, and because look him up, man. He's dealt with some stuff.
He has.
He's dealt with some stuff, and he used to be a sympathetic figure. Not anymore. Not anymore. So, all right, let's take a break. And yes, when we come back, we are going to break down Friday night's game, Steelers Jets, 17-0 shutout. Jets first interception in over a year, but more importantly, some answers left unanswered by the Steelers quarterback room, and Riley Holsinger from Black and Gold Nation will join us to help try and answer those questions. So don't go anywhere. 28-22 Sports Night back after the break.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 28-22 Sports Night and Friday Night Football starting up in just 4 days, but two teams will not be on the gridiron this week at all. Holy Cross and Lakeland. It just came out about an hour ago per the Times Tribune that Holy Cross has forfeited its week 1 game at Lakeland due to a combination of injuries and low football participation. The Holy Cross athletic director and principal sort of cited that ultimately the health of their players and not wanting to put an already low-numbered roster at risk with even more physical play expected in week 1. The team, Holy Cross, plays Riverside and Dunmore in the following week, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with those matchups as well, but probably disappointing for both programs to not have a week 1 game. And Holy Cross coming off of a season in which they graduated 19 players in 2025 in an already small program. That puts a big strain on some of those lower classmen and the participation of that program.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough way to start your 2026 and try to build upon, but I understand, football seasons are a marathon, not a sprint, so you don't want to sacrifice things later on in the year to ultimately likely not walk out with the victory on day 1.
Yeah, no, as you meant, I mean, it's ultimately, again, a marathon, football season's ultimately a marathon. You don't want to put an already, limited roster at ease. And again, these are high school kids. This isn't a collegiate program. So, but ultimately, again, disappointing for both of those teams, especially for probably the seniors of that group, because that's one less game both of those teams are going to have to play going forward. So we'll see what happens going forward with particularly Holy Cross. But disappointing. Ultimately, I think for those two schools not being able to, take part in that week 1 game like almost every other school around here.
Yeah, and I mean, from there, I mean, it's one of those things that might manifest as well, because again, not just for the team that had to forfeit, but again, unfortunately for the team that doesn't get that first hit or that first rep against someone else in a different jersey, because now you're going into week 2 going up against a team that did get out on the field the week before, have had time to adjust, see how their play calling works, see how real game speed, game situations, clock management situations, and that's a big maturity, especially with kids at 17 to 18 years old, going from going from that week 1 to that week 2. There is a maturity. There is hey, this is the first time that I've got popped on the varsity level. This is the first time that we're going to go through tape. This is the first time that, my body's going to recover after a game. There's a lot of things that adjustment, you mature a little bit. And again, that just continues to happen. And a lot of times by the time, you're done with your junior year, you're closer to being a senior than you are being a junior, especially as you get into the offseason. If you're starting that a week later than everybody else, I mean, that bye week doesn't necessarily help you at the beginning of the year. That's going to almost hinder you a little bit.
Yeah, it is. And again, I actually got the number of players that graduated wrong. It's actually 19 players on the whole roster this year for the Crusaders, and dealing with, as I mentioned, injuries and low participation numbers will do that. But yes, ultimately this is just due to the fact that they want their kids to be safe, and they don't want to, obviously they don't want to put their whole season in jeopardy, but waiting for some players to get back from injury, as well as keeping the safety of
listen
on the field.
Was it 0.2 7% or something makes it to the NFL, and like it's only 7% that make it to college. So yeah, no, it's about the safety of the student athlete, and the reason that these are student athletes and not athlete students. Although, a couple more years of NIL and a couple more court cases, and again, your eighth. How long until the Little League World Series gets NIL deals? Serious, that's a joke, but like it's not at the same time. Because it's a joke, but it's totally not. How long until the kids that are playing in Williamsport are getting NIL deals?
Well, we'll have to find out for that one.
We're gonna wait and see.
Yeah, we're gonna wait and see.
I just okay. Well, let's not wait and see as we continue to talk at least a little bit about Williamsport, and we'll continue on with our conversation. In fact, actually, Mid-Atlantic on the diamond as we speak. We have an update on that game. It was 5-0 as we started the podcast. The Mid-Atlantic champs, the Eastside Little League, facing elimination here in a win-or-go-home game against ultimately the talk of and the biggest story headed into tonight and for most of the Little League World Series, that being Kinley Rasmus, the sensation from the Southeast. Tied up at 5 in the 5th. Oh, man, what a game.
It was a 5-0 game with Eastside, but yes, Kinley Rasmus is. I think I saw
she came in to pitch when it's 5-0, so she's held down the fort for Phoenix City since entering the game at this point in time because they have not scored another run since she has since she has gotten into the ball game and taken the mound.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she does. We saw that in their first game, she held it down pretty well, and ultimately
8 strikeouts, tying Monet Davis for the most by a girl.
And those numbers right there speak for themselves. She's
and then
been outstanding. And
then in her second game, only the third girl ever to have multiple hits in a game, and she had another one tonight that she sent all the way to the wall. So there's 2 that she just missed from it being a home run and her becoming the first girl ever to have a home run in the Little League World Series. We're gonna get in trouble tonight. We already got in trouble for the NFL, so I got to figure that situation out.
NFL, what'd I do?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll talk off camera. Riley's getting us in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But that being said, Kinley Rasmus, and I mean she's got MLB blood,
Yes. Didn't you say her dad, or what was it? Her dad?
A couple of them.
Her uncle? Something like that. But
I know the early 90s baseball isn't your wheelhouse, is it?
No, that's more your wheelhouse. But
I mean, early 90s baseball is just always been it should be everyone's wheelhouse. That's the best time for baseball. Although then again, Colby Rasmus played for the Astros in the early 2000s. Debut in 2009, last MLB appearance 2018.
Got it.
You know who Colby Rasmus is?
No, I've heard the name.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought
I've heard
so.
the name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's some heck of a bloodline there.
That's the uncle. Cole Rasmus is is it Corey Rasmus? No, Corey Rasmus is a pitcher as well, who pitched for the Braves and the Angels, and Casey Rasmus is the coach of the team, and is now got kids, got 3 kids, 3 Rasmuses I think on that team. But yeah, I mean, listen, Little League World Series has just been amazing. It's just been great. From the first pitch on.
It really has been, and we'll see again how that ends up tonight. at the conclusion of this game between Phoenix City and East Side. Both of those teams have battled hard to get here. One of them, fortunately, will not be moving on.
Yeah, winner go
Into-
home. It's
into the
elimination
next
night
round.
as the Texas team already, the Southwest team being eliminated today as they lost 6-1 to Great Lakes. Japan staying alive. They beat the Europe-Africa team 3-2. And Panama also. Panama, 5 innings, perfect game. And then it all goes awry as Canada gets the 3-2 win in extras. That was a pitcher's duel. That was another great game. But speaking of pitchers, the Midwest team, back-to-back games, shutout, including shutting out Metro. They put up 6 against Metro as well. And actually, first no-hitter in U.S. bracket play since 2022 for Cooper Thiessen and the Midwest team. That's going to be a great game. Midwest versus Mountain in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, that is going to be a really entertaining game there in the winner's bracket. But, I mean, this tournament as a whole so far has just been exemplary. The talent that's been displayed. And that Midwest team, had a dominating performance again. I think Anthony Johnson, who closed out the game before, pulled out the game before, really went out and did a great job. I think nuking a 2-run home run over the center field wall as the Midwest team continued its run through the winners bracket. But yeah, a lot of exemplary play, and hopefully for our sakes, the Mid-Atlantic team keeps on keeping on.
Yeah, I know. I kind of need them. I don't want to say that I jinxed them, but I may have jinxed them.
Well,
I sent an email out about tomorrow's schedule, and since doing so, it hasn't gone so well.
I'll tell Coach that you're to blame.
Oh yeah, please don't. I saw Coach the other night when we were at the MLB Little League Classic, and he looks over at me and then looks back and watches the game. I just go, Coach, you're gonna just be so sick of me by the end of the week. He goes, by the end of the week? He was joking, but kind of, hopefully. So, all right, let's get one more in here. Is this break 3?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get one more in, and then we'll get back talking about some more. Let's actually break down this football game. Let's break down the Steelers and Jets when we get back. Guess who had the big hit?
Kinley.
Oh, yeah. She's a star, man.
Might have to start walking her.
Dude, I mean, listen, we were up there, and I mean, Joe Garrison could tell us about this too. Like, we got to meet the most of the family. We've spoken with most of the family. Southeast team was really nice and accommodating to us. In fact, most of the teams have been. In fact, all but one team has been nothing but accommodating to us. And I won't even say that the other team was like mean to us. We just never saw them. We just, unfortunately, our schedules never crossed. Like, I can only imagine that if we did run into them, it would be the same as it has been with everybody else. It's just literally our schedules just never crossed because of the rain and whatever it may be. But every team has just been amazing. It's been such an experience. But when we were with the Southeast team and it was, hey, can we talk to this person? It was, Kinley's with Jess. She's with ESPN. We won't, she's got a different schedule than everybody else, which is even more insane for a 12-year-old because she's doing so much outside of just playing baseball.
Yeah. And she was actually looking on her Instagram story. She was with Ronald, sitting down with Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, she has been on it. She was on Inside Edition as well. There's stars there, and there's always been stars. I mean, Monet Davis went through the same treatment. And listen, years later, obviously, we know what happened. But Danny Almonte at the time was a star.
Yeah.
We didn't know that he was 14, but We kind of knew he was 14, but we just didn't have the paperwork yet. But, I mean, he was a star. And there's always big-time stars at this. I mean, listen, Gary Sheffield was one of them. Todd Frazier was one of them. And Todd Frazier is still a star in Williamsport. But, yeah, to be able to do what she's doing, because, again, even when, any one of these boys become a star for a couple of weeks, like, expected, right? I mean, in fact, the one kid, the center fielder for Southwest or Southeast, Cliff, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. But he wants to be the starting quarterback for Alabama. And I'll tell you, I look at his frame, I look at his swing, I look at his athleticism, and it's like, yeah, that could happen. Absolutely. If 6 years from now I'm watching a Bama game and they're like showing me this footage, I'd be like, oh, wow, how did I forget about him? Yeah, absolutely. But again, she's on a different level because it's the third player to do this, the fifth player to do this. She hits a home run, she'll be the first player to do this. She's tying this person, It's just, and Southeast playing a little small ball here, threatening in the bottom of the fifth with 2 on and no out, tied at 5 in the winner-go-home game. Yeah, it's just, it's incredible what she's doing and balancing the schedule. And, hey, guess what? Today was the first day of school.
Yeah. For her? Or just,
well, at least for the Mid-Atlantic kids.
For some schools around here, yeah, it was the first day of school coming back. And again, when you're going, if they start school, they're obviously, again, they're in Williamsport right now, so won't be starting until, if hopefully they win, but, could be back in school later this week, and they could they'll surely have a nice story to tell, and they'll be celebrities back at school.
And likely, the Southeast team being from Georgia, they start even earlier than here in Pennsylvania, so they've likely been in school for some time now.
Yeah, I think Southern and Western. We were talking to Chris Matthews in the Las Vegas station. I think college or high school football has been started for the last couple of weeks.
Did you see the game? Did you watch that game?
I did not.
I watched it the next day. Oh my God, what a game! And okay, Ricky, I know I joke with you from time to time about depression and happiness and the joys and the everything else that comes with this job, and which, by the way, this job is freaking awesome. It is awesome. The last couple of weeks, it's just been great. But that said, Saturday afternoon, I'm sitting at the house, and I got the 3 TV set up, and I got the Little League World Series on one, and I got high school football on the other, and I got preseason NFL football on the third, and I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, this is good. This is good. But yeah, no, that Bishop Gorman Bosco game, number 2 versus number 3 in the country. And then on Saturday, you had the number 1 team in the country out of Georgia playing another team out of Georgia who happened to just have the number 1 recruit at quarterback and headed to Alabama.
Luke Bryan's son, was he on one of the teams?
It might have been, but dude, we're in it, man. We got college football this week, don't we?
Well, yes, I believe there's a game on Thursday. I haven't looked at that far down the road in our calendar, but I believe Thursday East Stroudsburg plays. I forget
Seton Hall. Seton Hill.
So I believe they play Thursday. So yeah, that really is the kickoff to Division II football here in NEPA with some PSAC action.
And you got North Carolina and TCU on Saturday. Bill Belichick.
There we go.
North Carolina TCU on Saturday.
That should be an interesting Bill Belichick, and I believe in his second season.
Yeah, and they got whopped by TCU last year. They got whomped.
Yes, they did.
They got whomped.
That did not go well.
USC plays on Saturday. Right here on WBRE. Tune in. 3 o'clock on BRE. USC taking on San Jose State.
That's a thriller. Surely that's going to be close.
That's the only top 25 game a team with the top 25 in the top 25 playing in the week. They don't call it week 0 anymore, but it's week 0. Yeah,
Yes.
you got Saturday. We got North Carolina TCU at noon, San Jose State USC at 3:00, Virginia versus NC State at 3:30. You got Hawaii and Stanford at 7. Florida State's playing at 7. And then as well on Saturday, you got both the U.S. and the International Championship for Little League.
Yeah, because that ends what, this
Sunday.
Sunday?
So
Yeah,
you got
that
the
is
U.S.
Sunday.
and the International Championship on Saturday, and on Sunday you got the World Series Championship, as the two teams will play against one another, the two champions. Then what we got on Steelers on Thursday against the
Steelers on
Bills.
Thursday against
That's a
the
big
Bills.
game against the Bills. It's a big game preseason. It's a big game. Yeah, right.
Big game for certain players trying to make the roster, because that's August 30th is when
Cut down day.
cutdown day.
Yeah.
So that's
And then 29th, Eagles play against the Bengals, and Eagles trying to go not go winless in the preseason, as they're 0-2 at this point in time.
I don't think they, because
You remember when the Ravens were like undefeated in the preseason for like 15 years or something?
it was I think 5 years straight.
It was a long stretch, yeah.
But yes, they've always traditionally been one of the best preseason teams. But
It's equated.
yeah, but it hasn't translated into anything meaningful recently, though.
WBRE Athlete of the Week right now, Cole Warner in a big spot. 3-2, bases loaded, nobody out.
Oh no.
We can't really do play-by-play in live time, but
No.
yeah, let's just say Cole's in a big spot right
He's
now.
in a big spot. He's got to execute now.
Got to execute this pitch.
Every pitch is huge.
Yeah, so on that note, we'll be right back after this break, and we'll wrap up 28-22 Sports Night tonight. So I was reacting, and I was wondering. Umpires got a very, very late strike call. Let's just say that. He likes having people wait a couple of seconds before he gives.
Show.
Yeah, it kind of is, unfortunately. And that one might have been a ball, to tell you the truth. But, dude, the swag that these kids got, oh, my God. And, I mean, I tried to buy some swag. There was no swag left to be bought. I'm going to have to go try to buy some stuff online.
There's nothing. They were sold.
Well, first of all, the Metro section was just, that was totally wiped. And then the same thing for the Mid-Atlantic section. So the two teams that I kind of wanted to get some gear from, yeah, those were gone. Although the Southwest squad's got some cool colors. And I do like the Mountain squad's colors too, but money's tight right now. So saving money wasn't the worst thing in the world.
No, definitely wasn't. I don't think you saved on that sandwich you got, though.
I did, because we got a voucher.
Oh, the voucher.
Yeah.
What was that sandwich?
The Best of PA sandwich.
So
Okay, so on Saturday, that might be a balk. That might be bad. So on Saturday, oh no, they just called it a pitch. Wow, okay. Interesting. We'll have to get in that tomorrow. Oh, I'm glad you ISO'd me on that as well. So no, okay, on Saturday when I was watching, in the booth, they brought up to Carl Ravitch and Jess Mendoza and Todd Frazier what they called the Best of PA sandwich. So it's 2 pieces of Texas toast. It's a Philly cheesesteak, or you can get chicken or pork, but I got the Philly cheesesteak. It's got the nacho cheese on it, coleslaw, pickles, French fries, and like a special sauce. And it's really, really good. But again, I was sitting at home. I was watching it on my one day off, and it's just, You guys got to understand how amazing it is to like see this on ESPN on your TV and then the next day just being able to experience it. And I think people here in NEPA probably do, because the amount of people that I've seen from, Loyal Sock, Jersey Shore, Montoursville,
Central Columbia.
yeah, everywhere, it's just been, I got to imagine that this is a staple of the summer for people from that area. And we are going to the top of the sixth, tied at 5, as Cole Warner, the WBRE WYOU Athlete of the Week, strikes out the side with the bases loaded to get Pennsylvania out of trouble, and it's tied at 5, folks.
Cole Warner's at quite the week.
Dude,
Athlete of the Week.
I'm jealous I'm jealous that Connor's there right now.
I think he also struck out Mason Rincon for the second time in this whole state since the beginning of the state tournament.
Yeah, they brought Cole in. This is the second game in a row that he started game 1.
Yes.
And yes, he struck out Rincon in the first inning, and now he's in relief and got the Mid-Atlantic team out of trouble as the Southeast team loaded the bases with no one out. Have we gotten all our breaks in?
Yes, we have. Okay. 4.
I was going to say, because we only got a couple minutes left. I was like, oh, God, do we have one left?
No, we got 4.
Okay. It's awesome. Yes, and the sandwich was awesome, too. The sandwich was really good. Sandwich was good. Sandwich was good. I definitely will get it again. Although when I go back tomorrow, I'm going to have to try a couple of different things. I don't know what I want to do. Last night when I was at the MLB
All-Star, Little League Classic.
There was a Connor Core trying to break news.
What did he do?
He just texted us both about Holy Cross and Lakeland.
Oh, he.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We're only joking with him. I appreciate him. He's working hard tonight because he's out at the game and he's watching that right now. And I'm very, very jealous of Connor out there. Although Friday night, nearly 30,000 people there on Friday night.
Yes, nearly 30,000, 28,000 people there. They were telling the Metro coach after the game because talking to him about how well the Metro team has traveled, and he felt that there were more Metro fans were there than Mid-Atlantic. And
the distance isn't that much of a difference between Bayonne and Westchester, PA.
Yeah, certainly not. And people, I think they had 5 charter buses of people transported, and I could believe it. I saw a lot of Bayonne versus the world, Bayonne versus everybody shirts. And it was just, they were loud, they were rowdy. There was a whole section in center field. On the lower part, there was a whole section in left center field. On the upper part, like there was just people everywhere from Bayonne. And then of course you had the families of the players probably in the stands. And
yeah, all the families tend to be inside the stands where you get the rest of the crew outside. But all right, before we get out of here tonight, got a big rest of the week. NEPA Hall of Fame coming out. We will be joined tomorrow by Evan Krakey, the Lakeland Chief legend. We'll have a couple of Lakeland Chiefs cutting it up here in the podcast room. Later on this week, we're also going to be joined by Lindsay Moppert from WPAL as we get ready for the final Philly Eagles preseason game. And as well, we'll be joined Thursday by Ali Barubi, our correspondent out of Nittany Nation. She does a great job covering the Nittany Lions. So we got a big week of shows for you headed into Friday, which of course is our very first Football Friday on the road from our WBRE WYOU Game of the Week. So don't go anywhere, but you can go somewhere for the next 23 hours. All right, for Ricky Turner and myself, this has been Sports Night.